Hi, friends.
Okay.
I am here with Deborah Sampson, who is one of our 2022-2023 discerners and a really gifted lay leader who's helping our diocese think in new ways and play games to help us imagine the future, both as congregations, as a diocese, and as individuals. And you'll see linked in your homework some handouts that she's developed, but it's a little hard to figure out what to do with a handout without somebody talking you through it. So I wanted to introduce Deb and have her talk us through. So in this video, we want to look at the original why circle that Deb developed, which is a way of using the baptismal covenant as sort of a lens to reflect on your own life or the life of your congregation or ministry group or diocese. So I'm sharing the screen so you can take a look at it, and I'm going to have Deb explain. And this is one that came filled out. Yours would not be filled out. Your job would be to fill it out.
Okay, but this, which I call the why circles, was actually developed at Good Shepherd Episcopal Church in Centennial, Colorado, as that church came out of COVID and at the end of the 3-year priest in charge process. So we'd made all these changes during COVID time, and we need to figure out, why are we at this place at this time, and how has it changed? So we started out with our why statement, which is in the center. And we came up with, we are here to build relationships with Christ, each other, and the world around us. Then we looked at the Book of Common Prayer and realized, what is the mission of the church? It is to restore all people to unity with God and each other in Christ. So we came up with the perfect why statement. The next circle outside of the why circle, the how circle, are all of the things that we promise in baptism. Now, when we're baptized, for most of us, it's parents, godparents, etc., making those promises for us. And then we renew those promises in the confirmation process. But we promise to proclaim, we promise to pray, we promise to be in fellowship. All of those promises, 6 promises that we make both in baptism and in confirmation. So then the last circle became, what are we really doing to demonstrate these things? What are we doing in these areas? Now you'll notice in this example that Strive for Justice is in purple, a new initiative. It's not a new initiative in the baptismal covenant, but it is probably the hardest of the baptismal promises to understand. It's very easy to slide it into seek and serve, but striving for justice is a different thing. Striving for justice is what we do when we march in the Black Lives Matter parade, or the gay pride parade. Is that what it's still called?
The pride parade.
It's when we go to the legislature and say, people living on the streets need an opportunity to shower and get clean clothes. What can we do as a government to provide some help for those people? Needless to say, that's kind of an area where I have a lot of energy, but it was new to Good Shepherd Parish. And so that's why it's in purple. As were some other things, some Compline services and some other things like that that were new. So that's how this chart came to be. And it transforms itself once I come to Albuquerque and participate in the vocational discernment process.
So we'll use this same, we'll show you this evolving handout using the diaconal and presbyteral covenants in future weeks. But I just want to encourage you to maybe play around with this for yourself. It's a great congregational tool, but it's also a great individual tool to take each of these baptismal promises and notice, what are you already doing? What have you done in the past? What are you feeling called to do now or in the future? And you're absolutely allowed to do that with words, but you could also do that with pictures. You could do that as a collage. I appreciate this circle just because when I print things out, as a Google Doc in an outline form, that makes me think in one way, and just by a graphic form invites maybe a little more creativity. Heck, maybe one of you will create a 3-dimensional, the pop-up book form. So have a little fun with